The Blackwater Forest Files, a found footage. Horror story in an American national forest. Opening note, the following account was reconstructed from Montana State Police investigation files, witness statements, and footage extracted from 3 camera memory cards found inside Blackwater National Forest in the winter of 2021. None of the 4 people seen in the footage survived to confirm what happened, and the strangest part was this. In the final recording, there were 5 voices. Blackwater National Forest lies in western Montana, close to the Idaho border. On a map, it appears as nothing more than a vast green wilderness filled with lakes, mountains, pine forests, and hiking trails. But to the locals, Blackwater is not a place to enter after sunset. Between 1984 and 2021, at least 27 people disappeared in that area. Most were tourists, hunters, hikers, or groups of students filming exploration videos. They all had one thing in common. They vanished near Hollow Lake. Search teams used dogs, helicopters, and professional rescue units. But bodies were almost never found. Only objects. A mud-covered shoe. A torn backpack. A soaked notebook. A dead camera. And in a few cases, short audio recordings. In them, the victims could be heard whispering, "Don't look down into the water." On October 14, 2021, 4 media students from the University of Oregon drove to Blackwater to film a short documentary. Their names were Ethan Cole, 23, the group's director; Maya Reed, 22, the main camera operator; Lucas Grant, 24, the sound recorder; Nora Blake, 21, the narrator. Their project was titled The Hollow Lake Disappearances. At first, it was only supposed to be a final assignment. They planned to film the forest, interview locals, recreate several old disappearances, and turn everything into a found footage style documentary. But after they vanished, the film became the last evidence they ever left behind. Camera October 1st, 14:12 p.m. The first clip shows a silver SUV driving along a narrow dirt road. Tall pine trees rise on both sides. The sky is cloudy. The light is dim, even though it is still afternoon. Nora sits in the back seat, looks into the camera, and smiles. "All right, we are officially inside Blackwater. If this video is ever found after we disappear, please edit it artistically." Lucas, sitting beside her, raises the microphone. "Don't say that. People might think you are serious." Ethan, who is driving, says, "That might make it better." Professor Harding loves realism. Maya turns the camera toward the window. The forest is dense. Some trees are burned black, standing among the green pines like grave markers. Nora reads from her phone. Hollow Lake was the site of the first officially recorded disappearance in 1984. A family of 3 went camping and vanished during the night. Their tent was untouched. Their food was still cooking on a gas stove. But the people were gone. Lucas asks, "Were there footprints?" "Yes," Nora replies. "But the strange thing is, all 3 sets of footprints led straight into the lake." The car falls silent for a few seconds. Maya lowers the camera. "So they drowned." Nora stares at her phone a little longer. "No. Search divers spent 4 days underwater. They found nothing." Ethan gives a nervous laugh. "That is good. Perfect documentary horror material." At that moment, the GPS on the dashboard flickers. The road disappears from the screen. A message appears. Ethan frowns. "That is weird. I downloaded the offline map." Lucas looks outside. "Does anyone have service?" All 4 check their phones. No one has a signal. They reach the old ranger station at 5:03 p.m. According to the plan, they are supposed to meet a retired ranger named Harold Mercer. He had taken part in the search for victims during the 1997 disappearance. The ranger station is a small wooden cabin with a rusted metal roof, standing beside the road that leads deeper into the forest. Harold Mercer is waiting on the porch. He is around 70 years old, wearing a thick coat and a wool hat. His face is hollow, like someone who has not slept properly in years. When he sees the students pull out the camera, he immediately says, "Turn that off." Ethan looks confused. "We called ahead. We just want to interview." "I said turn off the camera." Maya lowers the camera, but it keeps recording. Harold studies the 4 of them for a long moment, then asks, "You kids are going to Hollow Lake?" Ethan nods. "Just for one night. We will set up camp, get some footage, and leave in the morning." Harold gives a dry laugh. "That is what everyone says. Nora steps forward. Mr. Mercer, you once told the newspaper that something was wrong with the lake area. What did you mean? The old man looks at her. I meant the forest there knows your names. Lucas lets out a small laugh. Harold turns to him instantly. It will call you first. Lucas goes silent. Ethan tries to keep his voice professional. Can you explain that? Harold takes an old notebook from his coat pocket. Its leather cover is cracked and worn. He opens a page and shows it to them. It is a list of missing people. Beside each name is a note. Heard mother calling. Heard daughter crying. Heard own voice from beneath the lake. Answered. Gone after 3 minutes. Nora's face turns pale. What does answered mean? Harold closes the notebook. If you hear someone calling your name in the forest, do not answer. If you hear the voice of a dead loved one, do not turn around. If you see someone standing beneath the surface of the lake, do not stare. Maya asks. Why? Harold steps closer to the camera. Even though Maya has lowered it, the lens still catches half of his face. He says quietly, because whatever lives in Hollow Lake does not take people with its hands. It takes them with longing. Camera October 2nd, 14:06, 41 p.m. The students set up camp about half a mile from Hollow Lake. Night falls quickly. The air grows unnaturally cold. Their breath appears in white clouds even though it is only mid-October. Ethan sets up the tripod. Maya checks the batteries. Lucas tests the directional microphone. Nora records narration. We are now on the edge of Hollow Lake, the area connected to the highest number of disappearances in Blackwater history. According to local accounts, this location is known for strange audio phenomena, radio failure, disorientation, and in some cases, victims hearing the voices of deceased relatives. Lucas, wearing headphones, stands nearby. Suddenly, he frowns. Wait. Ethan turns around. What? Lucas raises one hand, signaling everyone to be quiet. In his headphones, there is a faint static hiss. Then a whisper. Very distant. Very soft. Lucas. He pulls the headphones off immediately. Maya asks. Are you okay? Lucas forces a smile. Yeah. Probably just radio interference. But when police later examined the audio file, they discovered something strange. The microphone had not recorded any whisper. Only Lucas breathing heavily. And right after that, buried deep under the audio, there was the sound of running water, even though they had not reached the lake yet. Around 8:20 p.m., the group sits around the campfire. Maya films everyone eating canned food and talking. Ethan tries to lighten the mood. All right, everyone say your biggest fear. It will be good for the edit tomorrow. Nora says she is afraid of being buried alive. Maya says she is afraid of seeing someone standing in the corner of her room at midnight. Ethan says he is afraid of failure. Lucas remains silent. Nora teases him. What about you? Lucas stares into the fire. I am afraid of hearing my father's voice. No one says anything. Lucas continues. He died when I was 16. Car accident. The night before he died, he called me, but I was playing a game and did not answer. After that, I never heard his voice again. The fire crackles. Maya lowers the camera slightly. I am sorry. Lucas nods. It is fine. At that moment, a man's voice comes from the forest. Luke. Lucas stands up so fast he almost falls. Everyone freezes. The voice comes again. Closer this time. Luke, can you hear me? Lucas backs away, his face drained of color. Nora whispers. Don't answer. Ethan grabs a flashlight and points it toward the trees. The beam sweeps over the trunks. No one is there. Only fog, sliding slowly between the pines. The voice calls a third time. I am so cold, Luke. Lucas covers his ears. It is not real. Ethan shouts into the forest. Who is out there? Show yourself. Nora snaps toward him. Ethan, do not. The forest goes silent. Then, from far away, dozens of voices whisper. Together, Ethan. The campfire goes out. Camera October 1st, 15:12, 07 a.m. This clip is heavily distorted. The camera is inside the tent, pointed toward the tent flap, which is slightly open. Outside, there is only darkness. The voices of the 4 students can be heard. Arguing. Ethan wants to leave immediately. Maya says they cannot drive at night without GPS. Nora is crying. Lucas barely speaks. Suddenly, Footsteps circle the tent. Slowly. 1 circle. 2 circles. 3 circles. Maya whispers. There is someone out there. Ethan holds a folding knife. Hey, we have a weapon. The footsteps stop in front of the tent. Then a hand appears. But it does not look human. It is too long. The fingers are thin, pale, and covered in black mud. It touches the zipper of the tent flap. Then slowly pulls it down. Maya screams. The camera falls to the floor. The image tilts sideways. All that can be seen are people's legs. Scrambling, flashlight beams sweeping across the tent fabric, and a very tall black shape standing outside. Then the footage cuts out. The next morning, they decide to return to the car, but the trail is gone. Not covered by leaves. Not simply mist. Gone. Where there had been a wide path the day before, there is now only thick forest, as if the trees had grown there for decades. Ethan pulls out the paper map. We are only 1 mile east of the main road. Maya checks the compass. The needle spins in circles. Lucas sits on a rock, dark circles under his eyes. Nora says. We should go back to the ranger station. Ethan snaps. Which way? No one answers. When Maya turns the camera toward the trees, she captures something for a split second. Between 2 trunks, an old man is standing and watching them. He wears an old ranger jacket. A wool hat. It is Harold Mercer, but he stands motionless, about 30 yards away. Ethan calls. Mr. Mercer. The figure does not answer. Maya zooms in. When the image becomes clearer, everyone falls silent. The face is not Harold's. It only looks like him from a distance. Its skin is wrinkled like tree bark. Its mouth stretches almost to its ears. And its eyes are completely black. It smiles. Then steps backward behind a tree. And disappears. Camera October 3rd, 15:33 p.m. They find Hollow Lake. The surface is perfectly still, like a mirror. Dark even in daylight. No birds. No insects. No wind. Only a heavy silence. Nora stands before the camera, trying to record narration, but her voice trembles. We have been disoriented for about 6 hours. We are currently at Hollow Lake. There is no phone signal. GPS does not work. We are going to follow the shoreline and try to find a way out. Lucas looks down into the water. Maya says. Don't stare. Lucas does not blink. Beneath the surface, something moves. At first, it is only a shadow. Then it becomes clearer. A vehicle. A silver SUV. Their SUV. Sitting at the bottom of the lake. Its headlights are still on. Ethan runs closer. That is impossible. Maya turns toward the forest. If the car is down there, then what did we drive here in? No one answers. Lucas mutters. There are people inside. Inside the SUV beneath the lake, 4 figures. Sit motionless. One in the driver's seat. One holding a camera. One wearing headphones. One in the back seat. All of them turn their heads upward. Looking straight through the surface. Straight at them. Nora begins to cry. Ethan pulls everyone back. Go. Now. But Lucas remains where he is. From beneath the water, a hand presses against the SUV window. Then a voice rises from the lake. Luke. Lucas whispers. Dad. Nora screams. No. But it is too late. Lucas answers. I am here. The lake trembles. There is no explosion. No wave. In a single instant, Lucas disappears from the shore. His headphones fall to the ground. The microphone keeps recording. In the audio file, after Lucas vanishes, his screaming can be heard from very far away, as if he is underwater, but the camera shows the lake's surface perfectly. Still, the remaining 3 run into the forest. Ethan leads. Maya runs while filming. Nora keeps calling Lucas's name, even though she knows she should not. The sky begins to darken, even though the clock says it is only 3 p.m. The forest changes. The trees become twisted and bent, like human bones. Carvings appear in the bark. At first, they are strange symbols. Then names. Ethan, Maya, Nora, Lucas. Lucas's name has been crossed out. Nora sees it and screams. Ethan drags her forward. Maya films a close-up of one tree trunk. A new sentence is carved into it, as if freshly scratched by fingernails. 3 left. That night, they take shelter in an abandoned cabin. The cabin is not on the map. Inside, there is a wooden table, a fireplace, a Few old cans of food, and an antique radio. Black and white photographs hang on the walls. Maya shines her flashlight over them. They are photographs of the missing. From 1984, 1991, 1997, 2003, 2010, 2016, and finally, a new photograph. A picture of the four of them, standing in front of Hollow Lake. But something is wrong with it. In the photograph, Lucas is standing behind them, even though Lucas had already disappeared. And the Lucas in the picture is smiling. Ethan smashes the frame. This is a prank, someone is watching us. Nora curls up in the corner. It is not a person. The radio on the table suddenly turns on. Static fills the cabin. Then Lucas's voice comes through. You left me. Maya backs away. Nora covers her mouth. Ethan pulls the power cord from the wall, but the radio keeps playing. Lucas's voice continues. It is so cold down here. Ethan shouts. You are not Lucas. The radio goes silent for a few seconds. Then another voice speaks. Ethan's voice. But deeper. More distorted. Then what am I? Right after that, someone knocks on the door. Knock. The three of them freeze. Outside, Lucas whispers. Open the door. I found the way out. Nora sobs. Lucas is dead. The voice outside changes into Nora's mother's voice. Nora, sweetheart, it is Mom. Nora trembles. Maya holds her tightly. Don't answer. The knocking grows louder. Then dozens of voices rise around the cabin. Men. Women. Children. Old voices. All calling their names. Ethan. Maya. Nora. The windows shake. The roof groans. Ethan grabs an axe beside the fireplace. We have to run. Maya asks. Run where? Ethan looks down at the cabin floor. There is a trapdoor. Camera October 2nd, 16/1, 19 a.m. The basement under the cabin is narrow. The walls are damp earth. The air smells of mud and dead animals. The three crawl down and shut the trapdoor above them. The knocking continues overhead, but after a few minutes, everything becomes silent. Ethan turns on his flashlight. The basement is not empty. Dozens of camera memory cards, old phones, voice recorders, watches, wallets, and necklaces hang from the walls. Belongings of the missing. Nora picks up an old camcorder. It still has power. Inside is footage from 1997. The small screen shows a man running through the forest, gasping, blood running down his face. He says, if anyone finds this, do not go to the lake. It does not live under the water. The water is only its mouth. Maya whispers. Its mouth. In the footage, the man looks back. A massive shadow moves between the trees. It has no clear shape. It looks like a black emptiness moving through the forest. Hundreds of voices come from it. The man in the video cries. It wears the voices of the dead to lure the living. The clip ends with a scream. Ethan finds an old map under the pile of belongings. On the map, a tunnel is marked from the cabin to the edge of the forest, but beside the tunnel is written, only go when it is sleeping. Maya asks, when does it sleep? Nora looks up at the basement ceiling. Above them, there is complete silence. Then she whispers, when the forest stops calling your name. They follow the tunnel. It is so low they have to crouch. Deep claw marks cover the dirt walls. The farther they go, the stranger the sounds become. At first, dripping water. Then whispers. Then crying. Maya turns the camera behind them. No one is there. But on the camera screen, a figure is crawling. Behind Nora, Maya screams. The figure disappears from the screen. Nora turns around. What? Maya cannot speak. The camera starts glitching. Inside the static, Lucas's voice says. Maya, look at me. Maya closes her eyes. No. Lucas's voice comes closer. I am standing right behind you. Maya starts crying, but she does not turn around. Ethan pulls her forward. The tunnel begins to flood. Black water rises to their ankles. Then their knees. Nora panics. We have to go back. Ethan says. We are not going back. We are almost out. Something touches Maya's leg beneath the water. She screams. A hand bursts from the surface and grabs her ankle. Ethan swings the axe down. The hand lets go. But the water begins to boil. Dozens of other hands rise up. Pale. Soft. like the hands of bodies that have been soaking for too long. The three run through the flooded tunnel. Ahead of them, faint light appears. An exit. Ethan climbs out first. Then pulls Nora up. When it is Maya's turn, she drops the camera into the water. The camera sinks halfway below the surface but keeps recording. For a few seconds, the lens points down into the tunnel. Beneath the water is not mud. It is faces. Hundreds of faces pressed together under the black water, eyes wide open, mouths moving, all of them whispering, "Stay." The three escape the tunnel near dawn. They stand at the edge of an old paved road. Ethan begins to cry with relief. The main road. We made it out. But Maya looks around. There are no cars. No signs. Only an abandoned gas station across the road. A rusted sign reads, "Blackwater Gas open 24 hours. The neon lights still flicker, even though the station has clearly been abandoned for years." Nora says, "We should go inside and call for help." Ethan shakes his head. No. No more buildings. But Maya sees a landline phone inside. They enter. The interior is coated in dust. The shelves are empty. The refrigerators do not work. A small bell sits on the counter. Ethan picks up the phone. No signal. He slams it down. Damn it. The bell on the counter rings by itself. Ding. Footsteps come from the back room. A man in a gas station uniform steps out. His skin is gray. His eyes are cloudy. His smile is too wide. "You kids lost." No one answers. The man looks at each of them. "You are missing one." Nora steps back. He tilts his head. "Don't worry. He is waiting under the lake." Ethan swings the axe. But the man vanishes like smoke. At that moment, the gas station speaker system turns on. Harold Mercer's voice fills the room. "If you kids are hearing this, then it has brought you to the gas station. Don't trust anyone there. The station is the final trap." Maya looks up. "Mr. Mercer." The voice continues. "It cannot leave the forest. But it can make you think you have. Check the sky. If there is no sun, you are still inside it." All three run outside. The sky is pale gray. No sun. No clouds. Only a flat, colorless blankness, like a ceiling. Nora collapses to her knees. We are still in the forest. Ethan looks into the distance. Across the road, through the fog, Hollow Lake appears again. Impossible. They had run all night. But the lake is still there. Waiting. Camera October 1st, 16/7, 46 a.m. The footage shows Ethan losing control. He shouts that everything is an illusion. He says they will walk in one straight line. Without turning, without stopping, until they get out. Maya tries to stop him. Nora is almost too weak to stand. The three walk along the paved road. After about 10 minutes, they see a police car. It is parked on the shoulder. Its red and blue lights are still flashing. Ethan runs toward it. No one is inside. But the police radio still works. A woman's voice says, "Unit 12, confirm your location." Ethan grabs the radio. "Hello, we need help, we are trapped in Blackwater Forest." Maya shouts, "Don't say your name." But Ethan has already spoken. The radio goes silent. Then the woman's voice replies, "Ethan Cole." Ethan freezes. "Yes. That is me." Maya goes pale. The radio crackles. Then the woman's voice changes into Lucas's voice. "Thank you for answering." From the forest, a siren begins to wail. The police car locks itself. The lights go out. Ethan clutches his head. No. No. The ground beneath his feet cracks open. Not real asphalt. More like a black membrane. From below comes the sound of water. Nora and Maya rush forward and grab Ethan. But dozens of black hands rise up and cling to his legs. Ethan screams, "Maya, help me." Maya holds his hand. Nora pulls too. But Ethan is dragged down fast. Half of his body sinks into the road. Before he disappears, he looks at Maya and says, in a completely calm voice, "Don't look for the way out anymore. It is quiet here." Then he is gone. The road seals itself. No crack remains. Only the axe lies on the asphalt. Carved into its blade is a sentence. 2 left. Maya and Nora keep walking. Neither of them speaks. The camera shakes constantly now. Maya's breathing is weak. Nora walks ahead, clutching her coat around herself. Around noon, they return to the old ranger station. The wooden cabin is still there. The door is open. Inside, Harold Mercer sits at the table. He is not dead. Or at least, he does not look dead. Maya rushes in. You knew about this, you have to help us. Harold looks at them, his face full of pain. I tried to warn you. Nora shouts. How do we get out? Harold is silent for a long time. Then he says. It has to be paid in full. Maya asks. Paid with what? Voices. He points to his own throat. Long ago, the native people in this region called it the listener. It has no form, no voice of its own. It lives on the voices of those it takes. Every time someone answers, it takes part of them. Memory, face, voice, and finally, the body. Nora whispers. So the missing people, they did not die the way you think. They became the calls in the forest. Maya asks. Why is it keeping us? Harold looks into the camera. Because you filmed it. The room goes silent. Maya lowers the camera. What do you mean? It does not want to be seen. But it loves to be heard. Recording devices, cameras, radios, they make it stronger. Every piece of footage you filmed is a doorway. Nora looks at the camera in Maya's hand. Turn it off. Maya presses the power button. The camera does not shut down. The screen stays on. The battery reads 0%. Harold says. Now it is looking back. At that moment, the camera screen shows an image. That is not in front of them. It shows the inside of the lake. Beneath the black water, Lucas and Ethan stand. Side by side, they look upward. Their mouths move together. Maya. Nora. Harold stands up and takes an old hunting rifle. From a drawer. There is one way. But only one of you can leave. Nora asks. What way? The lake must receive one willing voice. One person has to go down there without being called. The other runs when the water opens. Maya shakes her head. No. Harold looks out the window. The fog is approaching. Inside the fog, hundreds of figures stand. Between the trees, there is no time left. Nora looks at Maya. Maya understands immediately. No. Nora, no. Nora gives a weak smile. You still have the camera. You have to get this story out. I do not care about the story. Yes, you do. Because if no one knows, others will come. Outside, the forest begins to call. Maya. Nora. Lucas's voice. Ethan's voice. Nora's mother's voice. Maya's father's voice. All blending together. Harold opens the back door. Run to the lake. When she steps into the water. You run toward the sun. Maya shouts. You said there is no sun here. Harold looks at her. When it feeds, the sky opens. Camera 3 final clip time unknown. Maya and Nora run through the forest. The camera shakes wildly. The fog is thick. Figures stand on both sides of the path. Motionless like spectators. They do not attack. They only watch. Hollow Lake appears ahead. Its surface is black. Nora stops at the shore. Maya cries. Don't do this. Nora turns and hugs Maya. Don't answer any voice. Not even mine. Then Nora steps into the lake. The water reaches only her ankles. Then her knees. Then her waist. The surface remains perfectly still. From beneath the water, her mother's voice rises. Nora, my baby girl. Nora closes her eyes. She does not answer. She keeps walking. The water reaches her neck. Maya stands on the shore, trembling as she films. Nora turns back one last time. She says. Maya, run. Then she sinks beneath the surface by choice. The moment Nora disappears, the lake opens. Not like ordinary water parting. Like a giant eye-opening. Below is no lake bed. Only darkness. And countless faces staring upward. Above the forest, the sky tears open. A real beam of sunlight shines down. Maya runs. Behind her, the entire forest screams in Nora's voice. Maya, don't leave me. Maya covers her ears. She runs past the ranger station. Past the dirt road. Past the trees carved with names. Then she sees the silver SUV. It is parked beside the road. Untouched. The door is open. The keys are still in the ignition. Maya climbs inside and starts the engine. The radio turns on. Nora's voice whispers. Maya. Maya screams and smashes the radio with her flashlight. The vehicle speeds out of the forest. The camera on the passenger seat records her face. Red eyes. Blue lips. Hands covered in blood. Behind her, in the rearview mirror, Blackwater. Forest stands still under the sunlight. But the moment the car passes the sign marking the edge of the reserve, Maya begins to laugh. It is not her laugh. It is Nora's. The camera glitches. The screen goes black. 3 days later, police found the group's SUV in a parking area near the entrance to Blackwater. Inside the car were 3 camera memory cards. There was no trace of Maya Reed. No blood. No sign of a struggle. Only one camera remained on, even though its battery was dead. When investigators reviewed the final clip, they found one detail that was not included in the first report. In the last second before the screen went black, the rearview mirror reflected the back seat. Maya was in the driver's seat. But behind her sat 3 people. Lucas, Ethan, Nora. And between them stood a tall, faceless shadow. It leaned close to the camera. Then it spoke in all 4 of their voices at once. Thank you for watching. After the incident, Blackwater National Forest was temporarily closed. Every sign leading to Hollow Lake was removed. Maps of the area were edited. The lake's name disappeared from public documents. But in May 2022, a group of tourists uploaded a short video online. They said their GPS had led them onto a strange road in the Montana woods. In the video, they laughed and joked, saying they might have found a secret camping spot. Near the end of the clip, as the car passed an old wooden sign, the camera accidentally captured the words, Hollow Lake 2 miles. And from the car radio, a young woman's voice whispered, My name is Maya. Don't go any farther. No one in the group heard it. They kept driving into the forest. The video ended there. To this day, the account that uploaded it has never been active again.